KS tweeted and said, "What was your favorite angle that you ever worked in WCW? Do you have memories of, say, man, that one was just a home run for me?"
Angle, WCW.
I guess you go back to Crockett. It's all under that umbrella, Crockett days, or
Yeah, the one that scared me to death, but pulled out every raw emotion you can hope for being a wrestler in the business when Flair turned on Dusty in the Omni.
Oh yes,
in that cage, and we had a for real riot trying to get out of that cage and get back to the locker room. I've never felt raw emotion and terror like I felt that night. It took us 20 minutes to get back to the locker room.
We hear that story, and it's like, really 20 minutes? But yes, 20 minutes to fight through that crowd. It blows my mind.
There were 100 people trying to prevent us from taking one step in that direction. And 10 Atlanta cops, I would estimate 10, had they not been there to beat those people back and create a slow path, they'd have killed us.
I love to go back and watch. Thank God for the network and the Peacock and all that, because that stuff can now live on for us to watch when we want. We can go pull up those old clips, those highlight reels of Jim Crockett Promotions, and that's still one of those angles. That whole build-up time, that whole time period, watching the build-up, it's just everything. Because as far as where I was at, as a fandom, as a kid. So good. Love that story.
Oh, it was as real gets.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, when the Rock and Roll Express, who were used on top at that time, Terry Taylor and some couple of other guys, when they came down and started climbing that cage and we started knocking them off, and that audience saw that nobody's going to save him, it went to a different level.
Darren Staley, who's with us in the chat, said, I was lucky enough to be at those mid-'80s Jim Crockett Promotions shows, and it was effing insane just to be there.
Because it was raw emotion. It was real good versus evil. This team hated this team's guts. And you knew who was on whose team and who the alliances were, and it was good versus evil, and it was more so than using weapons and big bumps and falling out of the ceiling and all that. It was two guys beating the crap out of each other.
Darren said, I would challenge and say Rock and Roll Express pop at that time probably beat the Road Warrior pop at that time. That's how popular they were.
Oh, it was the shrill kids, the little girls. It was a different, the Road Warriors, when theirs hit, it was like, ooh. When the rock and roll hit, every teenage girl, every grandfather, grandmother,
right,
you name it, everybody loved the Rock and Roll Express, and it was insane.
As you were describing the whole scene there that went down, Amy chimes in and says, also don't forget someone stabbed Ole through that whole thing.
This was a different night.
Was that a different night? Okay.
Yeah. Ole got cut across the chest.
But I guess during that era is what she's trying to say.
Yeah. She's absolutely. Yeah. And you know what, Amy? It was a 69-year-old man that pulled that knife out and cut Ole across the chest.
Oh, my goodness.
69-year-old man.